I have a statement. Mr. Steinberg, as he presented this, did say this was his opinion, and it's just that. It's an opinion. There are a lot of residents who are not represented by this particular resolution. I do believe that there is a version of this resolution that could be get unanimous support and bring everybody together, but this is not that version. This version appears to be carefully crafted to cause division, making statements and claims that everyone on this dais, whether they agree with it or not, knows are divisive. I think we can all agree that the attack on the Capitol was unjustified, it was dangerous, and it should be condemned in no uncertain terms. But at the same time, I think we can point out how the attack was a product of the increasing divisiveness that we've seen take hold across this nation, and it's coming here too. And we must make an effort to heal those divisions and bring people together. I could confidently sign on to a resolution making these points and know that I'm representing the entirety of the community as I do so. However, rather than condemning the divisiveness and seeking to diminish the rhetoric that has gotten us to this point, the current version of this resolution is unduly partisan, and it seems to double down on the division that we should be attempting to diminish. It is one thing to punish those who have broken the law. It was totally proper, for instance, for the delegate from West Virginia, Derek Evans' constituents, to call for his resignation since he illegally broke into the Capitol, apparently with the intent of intimidating federal legislators. But this proclamation, what we're essentially doing with it is calling for the condemnation of anyone who has articulated dissenting viewpoints on the subject of November's elections. We must draw a very bright line here. We can't stand all with one voice. We can all stand with one voice in condemning these lawbreakers, but to suggest that it's proper to call for a resignation of an elected official because they either participated in or encouraged the lawful and peaceful exercise of their First Amendment rights to free speech and assembly is an entirely different matter, both legally problematic and intentionally divisive. Do we go back and say that every elected official who ever encouraged a BLM protest where violence broke out should be condemned or shame them into resigning? Of course not. That would be idiotic, and I highly doubt the author of this resolution would highly suggest we would do so. So we need to have some consistency here. I would strongly urge that we take this back to the drawing board so that together we can draft a version that will send a positive and uniform message to the community. But I can't, in good conscience, sign on to a divisive resolution like this that does not represent the sentiments of the entirety of the Leesburg community. Thanks.
Anyone else at this point? Ms. Nacy?
I have a couple of comments. Not quite as eloquently written as Ms. Fox, but similar sentiments. At a time when we need unity, I believe this will only seek to cause more divisiveness. Political grandstanding at any level is not really what we need right now in this country or in Leesburg. A lot of us made campaign promises to be nonpartisan, and this feels like a very partisan resolution. At least, me, I can hold myself, accountable for saying that, I was going to stick to being very nonpartisan as this position entails. We've got a lot of really important things that we're working on in Leesburg. We're in the middle of a pandemic, trying to get over it, trying to help our residents, our businesses, and I really want that to be our focus instead of focusing on things like this. We can all have our own personal opinions about it, certainly, but I don't feel like we need to represent as a council an opinion on this matter. I just stand firm that while we may not like every word spoken by each other people in general, it is our First Amendment right to have that say. Thank you.
Mr. Bagdasarian?
Yes, like